there friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Hand Banan and today I'm going to be playing Tiny Glade. So as you can see, I've really been enjoying this game. I started this one in the autumn preset and it came with like this little building right here in the middle, and I didn't know what direction I wanted to take this right away, but I was feeling very inspired after my fairy city that I wanted to do something along those lines again. And as soon as I made this little circular building short and stubby, I said, this is a gnome city. So my fairy village is exactly that. It is a village. This one I wanted to look much more bustling and busy, and I wanted it to be descending down a cliff. So all these little houses looking very busy, sitting on a cliff, and then surrounded by some cliffs and some mines. And I end up with some pretty cool lore in the end of this one. So I didn't want it to look exactly like our fairy city. I wanted things to be sort of lopsided and a little topsy-turvy. I wanted all the entrances to have that short, stubby little circular entrance. Make the doors small for the gnomes. So this ends up being a really cute one. I was very inspired while doing it. My daughter and I have always been fans of gnomes. We've got some Valentine's gnomes. I think we've got, well, my husband got me one like for our anniversary one year, and his name is Norm with a G. So he's a gnome named Norm, so that is spelled with a G, but his last name is also with a G. And we have our Christmas gnomes, which when my daughter was like 2 or 3, there's 2 boys and a girl, and she named them Pine Nut, Parisa, and Pine Nut. 2 pine nuts and a parisa. We used to have one in our garden back when we lived at our old house, and he got left out there, but his name was like something Jones. She gave him a very silly name, and Jones is the last name. We like our gnomes around here, and when it's Christmas time and people ask us if we do Elf on a Shelf, I say nope. We keep our gnomes, and they protect us from any badly behaved elves. Then I liked adding these flags all over. I thought it looks like these gnomes have a lot of pride in where they live. I just added some fencing along the cliff to protect them from falling if they were to get too crazy up there. I started working on a path on the way down, and I liked adding these arches. I thought they add a little bit of character to the path, and I learned I can make it a smooth arch by changing it with the color palette. I just shortened them a little bit because gnomes don't need that tall of an arch to walk through. And then I went ahead and kept going down the cliff. I could add more houses on the way down. The houses all look similar, but they all have their own thing going on. So it's like a week later and I'm picking up this recording. Not only that, this is my 3rd time starting this. I've made it like 2 minutes into recording twice before realizing that my freaking mic is muted. I'm a big dumb idiot, but whatever, it's fine. Everything's working now. So I'm picking this up because I got super busy last week, and just all of this week has been very busy. And my son and I were supposed to go to the store to get groceries after I dropped off my daughter at school, but we are just getting shit on with snow right now, and I don't want to take a baby out in that. He's 1, so it's supposed to stop in a couple hours, and we'll just go then. He'll get a good nap in. He's taking a nap right now, and then when he wakes up he can have a snack, and while he's sleeping I can finish my video. I was saying in my recording that was fucking muted that I just wanted this neighborhood to look very busy. I wanted it to look very lived in, but at the time of recording this footage, I still did not know that you can actually click through all of the different scenery items. The benches, the barrels, the pumpkins, the crates, everything. So it still looks like kind of random, but I think that randomness makes the builds kind of have more of a story, I guess. You know, sometimes you're just like doodling in the game, because that's the whole point of this game, is just to doodle dioramas and not even think about what the building you're making is like supposed to be until a random little prop shows up, some kind of object that then gives you inspiration for what other kinds of buildings you want to make. And so sometimes, you know, it's okay. I don't think you have to be so specific about the certain objects you want in your build all the time. But I did know at this point that clicking on windows changed what spawned in front of them. Like I did just there, I got more laundry to show up, and I think that just means that's probably a mom with a bunch of little kids. I guess that would be my house. Just laundry everywhere. My daughter's been being very helpful with the laundry and other chores, because I was talking about in a previous video how we worked out an allowance for her. Her Tamagotchi is still alive. I'm responsible for it today because she usually keeps it in her locker at school, but and she just keeps it muted. But today she forgot it in her room, so I'm babysitting my grand Tamagotchi. But yeah, we have a good time, I think, when we're folding the laundry. She just refuses to touch anyone else's underwear, so I have to find all the undies in there and pull them out. So yeah, I wanted to extend the city now to the ground, and so I just started making a little path, and I was like, I'll just keep adding houses and buildings, and maybe some of these are like shops. Like in Daggerfall, most cities have like no true shopping districts, except for like the really big ones will have like groups of shops together. So that's kind of what I thought this would be like, is it's all just mixed in together. There's no like downtown or anything. And I like the way the little tiny windows look on the roof. I know I said it in a previous video, but you really do learn something new every time you play this, like something else you can do. It seems like it's so simple, like there's 3 windows to choose from, you know, there's banners and things like that, but it seems like there's always something new to discover that each object can do, and that's part of why I like it so much. Like, I think at one point I learned about corner windows, and then now at this point I know about roof windows, and in the Scholar's Retreat video I learned about coloring the windows, and yeah, everything is truly customizable. I wanted the flags to be just love for the sheep, pet the sheep. I wanted the flags to just be extending down the cliff, and I like the look of them going across the path too, like that, zigzagging. And I like the really tall chimneys in this build. And another thing I like about this game is how when you zoom in, everything looks so alive, but when you zoom out, it almost looks like doll houses. Like they look like toys. Very lifelike toys. It gives a very, I guess that is just a truly cozy feeling. It's just neat how a game can evoke the feeling of playing with toys. I like it. But I like building in a lot of games. Like, I have a Fallout 4 character who's super OP, and his name is Bob Knack, and I have so many supply lines going across the Commonwealth in that game that if you press show supply lines when you're looking at the map, you can hardly see any sort of map markers or anything. And whenever you're walking around the Commonwealth, there's just cows of Brahmins everywhere. You'll see them like going across the rivers. Just the pathing is not perfect, so they're just kind of a mess everywhere. My husband will watch me play. He's like, "That one of your cows?" Yep. Here you can see, I think my son must have woke up from his nap at that point when I was playing, so I had to close the game, and this is when I came back to it. And I knew I wanted to add more houses, but I wanted it to look much more filled out, so I was just adding flowers and bushes everywhere. And then my idea with making all of these houses was to use the same basic shapes, but rearrange them in as many different ways as possible. That's why you can see like each house is pretty much 2 squares and then a circular entrance. I try to make them all different levels and in different positions and different angles. I think they all turned out pretty cool, and each one like unique. I like to think maybe they used the gnomes version of like a Sears catalog buy the equipment for their houses and the different blueprints, and so they all end up looking almost the same, just slightly different. The house I grew up in was built in the year 1900 and was bought out of a Sears catalog. And I remember when I was a kid, my dad took the plaster walls down so that he could add insulation, because all the blown in insulation that was there since the house was built had all sunk to the first floor, so there was just no insulation on the second floor of the house. And when he was taking the walls down, the planks used to make the frame of the house all had like tree bark on them still, and my dad said they must have been cut down from our yard because there was like 100 trees in our yard. It was like living in a forest. We had to cut a bunch of them down because they were all twisting and winding their way through each other, reaching for the light. So it was kind of cool because you could go up to the attic and just sift through piles and piles of blown-in insulation and find like newspaper clippings, or we found a World War I soldier's hat, or we found some 1940s paper dolls, Coke bottles. I found a newspaper clipping once that was like, the headline was that I think President Calvin Coolidge, you may need to fact check me on this, I don't remember very clearly, but President Calvin Coolidge had officially declared the last Thursday of every November to be Thanksgiving. I thought that was interesting. I never really knew there was a time that Americans didn't celebrate Thanksgiving. There's probably some more history to that, I just don't know. I kept going and I thought this cliff needs just one more layer. So I added this one here, and I was gonna make a house that, you know, peaks onto the next level. So that's what we got going on here. And this game is really fun to just like zone out and build in, and that's kind of what I think I like about a lot of games, is just getting in construction mood and making little dioramas and stuff. But like other games where I like to build, not just Fallout 4, but I like Roller Coaster Tycoon. Obviously I like The Sims and the Sims videos before these. Me and my husband and my daughter used to have a Minecraft world, and my daughter, she was littler. We don't really play it as much anymore, but she would go make a zoo and just spawn like 100 cows, and then she'd come back to my house, and I'll have built an entire roller coaster in the side of a mountain. And she's like, whoa, how'd you do that? I taught her how to make roller coasters and stuff, and sometimes we'd play and we'd just ride the roller coasters. When I was pregnant with my son, I got really into OpenRCT2, and I learned a lot from watching like Marcel Voss's videos, and so now I'm pretty good at making some good roller coasters. So maybe I should make some RCT2 videos and show you some of my parks and stuff. I used to have one on my old computer, but I didn't transfer the save when my husband upgraded mine. But I have one. The park was called Austin 316. So when you go there, you just got your ass whooped by roller coasters. They're all really intense roller coasters. Anyway, I still like playing it a lot. This is, I think, like the last house I built here. I was just going for the same vibe, and I feel like at this point I was just a pro at laying these out and knowing what the basic structure is for it to match everything else, but also have its own uniqueness to it. I'm a big fan of the clotheslines going between houses. It makes me think like there must be some real good neighbors to help each other out with their laundry here. So I wanted this to be like, oh, I guess we do got another house here. I wanted this neighborhood to be like the kind of community where everyone who works has there's like a main job, like a main source of income. So they're all miners, you know, this is a mining city. But then, you know, there's a few people who do their own thing, have their own businesses. We're not cut out for the life of a miner. I feel like those communities are very close-knit, and that's kind of the vibe I wanted to portray here, is that it's a very close community. Everyone knows everyone. In my hometown, it's kind of like that. It certainly was not like a coal mine or anything that people worked at, but there was like one main factory where a lot of people worked at. I wouldn't say it was like the only job in town. There was other factories and businesses and stuff, but it was like the main reason that my hometown was on the map at all. That house was actually the last house I built in this neighborhood, and then I was like, well, I want the mine to be real close. So we've got some twin cliffs here, and so this is what I think for this city. A couple of gnomes discovered this gold and jewel mine, because gnomes I don't think are mining for coal. They probably get some, but they like jewels and emeralds and rubies and sapphires and gold and things like that. So I think these couple of gnomes discovered this deposit of different jewels and started mining it, and it has become, you know, the town it is today. This great city where all the gnomes live and have their lives and families and stuff. So they built their city on the adjacent cliff. And I saw this neat idea on Pinterest for like a grave, which I thought was super cool. I thought it would be cool to do a build that was like a whole cemetery, like a really interesting cemetery, doing these graves. But here I think it's the two founding gnomes are buried on top of the mine. So when I said this, when I said in the beginning that this city has some interesting lore, that's kind of what I meant by it. And in the picture I saw on Pinterest, they had put a cross on the grave, and so I did it here, and I was like, oh, maybe the gnomes are religious, so I guess they're like Christian gnomes. I don't know. I thought it looked kind of plain without the cross, and I couldn't think of another symbol to add here that would look so smooth. So I guess these are Christian gnomes. I think it would be cool to do a build that's like a cemetery, because there are some really pretty cemeteries that exist. Like last summer we visited the cemetery where my husband's family is all buried, and that was crazy because my family is spread out like all over the country. I mean, mostly in the Midwest, but they're like everywhere. And his grave's for his family, they went back to where the grave isn't even in English anymore and it's in Polish. And everyone was buried like all by each other. Even like great grandkids of people were buried like all by each other, and their spouses and their spouses' families all near each other. It was really interesting. I had never seen a cemetery like that. So then I wanted like a river or a pond kind of surrounding the mine. I guess it kind of gives like the vibe of the jewel mine from Snow White, where the 7 dwarves go to get their income. Oh, we got a sheep bouncing around, floating above the water. Yeah, the gnome's got a cute view, and this is about the last thing I did, I think. I added a bridge going from the top of one cliff to the other, that they can, the guys who live on the top of the cliff don't have to walk all the way down to get to work. They can just go across. And the people who live on the middle levels can choose which way they get to work, and the people on the bottom can get there from the path on the bottom. And so like right next to those stairs where the water goes in, that's where I think the entrance to the cliff is. But unfortunately, I was not able to like make an actual entrance into the cliff. Looking back, maybe I could have like made a little shack or something to kind of show that point. Then I just added some more flags, and at this point that I decided it was time to take a walk. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like, a comment, tell me what you're having for dinner tonight. I always need ideas. Subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks, bye-bye.